Hello class. Now that you are a little more familiar with WordPress, we will continue going over some of its features. Let's start by logging into our WordPress site. We're going to do this by going to our domain name and going to our WordPress directory where we installed WordPress. If you followed the previous video, it's going to be CMS. We see what we had last time. Now we're going to go to WP-admin, and that will take us to the admin login screen. And we're going to go ahead and log in. Once you are logged in, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be installing a different theme. So we're going to go over to the Appearance, Themes, and we are going to hit Add New. Under Search for Themes, we're going to look for Understrap. And you're going to find, you should get this purple looking theme. Hit on Install. And once it's installed, we're going to go ahead and activate it. Now, the reason why we installed this theme is because it is something you're already familiar with. It is based on Bootstrap. So if we go preview our website, you'll notice we have something very similar to what we've been working with already. So I figured it's already familiar to you, so it'll be easier for you to understand how themes work. If we go over to understrap.com, you can learn a little bit more about the theme and how it's based on Bootstrap. So what we're going to do next is up on the URL, we're going to do /builder. And this is going to take us to this page where we are going to be downloading a child theme for Understrap. So we're going to just hit Download Builder. And we could just hit no, I just want to download Builder. No need to sign in, subscribe for their newsletter. And you're going to get this zipped file. We're going to go ahead and save it. All right. So we should have this new Understrap Builder downloaded. We're going to go back to our dashboard. And we're going to add the child theme. To add a child theme, we add it just as if we were adding a new theme. Now, since this one we downloaded, rather than hitting out add new or searching for it, we're going to hit upload theme. We're going to go over to browse. And if you go over to downloads, you're going to select the Understrap theme that we just downloaded and hit install now. Perfect. Once it's ready, you're just going to hit activate. So now you notice we have Understrap, which is the parent theme. And since this is a child theme, it's also active. What the Builder child theme does, it's going to give us additional options and more of a visual way to customize the Bootstrap based theme. So under Appearance, we're going to go over to Customize. So we have our regular website, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to make this theme look, since it's a Bootstrap based theme, we're going to make it look exactly like our Fluence or our actual project. Mine happens to be Fluence Web, or your home page. All right, so whether you had a dark or a light theme or your own logo, if we start off with the site identity, right, we could put in our site title and our tagline. I'm going to remove test from there, and then you could add a logo. I have already uploaded my logo to WordPress, but you would just go upload files, select files, and then look for your logo or you could even save it from your website if you didn't save it. So just right click on your logo, save image as, and then upload that logo. So mine's already in my media library, so I'm just going to go ahead and select it. And then I'm going to make sure that it's all selected. I'm actually just going to skip cropping. And once we hit publish, we have the logo. If I go back, I could kind of keep working through these options. I don't need to change the background color. I don't need a background image. My menu is already selected, what I created last time. Widgets, home pages, that's going to be the same. Now you're going to see all these little builder blocks or custom blocks this is what the builder child theme is going to allow us to easily customize without having to do any code. So we already know how to do it through code. Think of this as a visual way to implement Bootstrap into WordPress. So for the visual learners, this is going to be really, really nice. So we go into navbar layout and style. You'll notice you'll have different navigation types. So pretty much the same options you would have if you would be coding. You could have the logo to the right, the logo to the left, logo in the middle. I'm trying to replicate what I already have, so mine's on the left. All right. You could also have a fixed stop. What did I have? Yeah, I have the fixed. So simply I just add the fixed top. Navbar line right. Color scheme, I have the light version. The background color, I had light. So you guys notice it's coming together just like my old website. Navbar search, if you want to add the search. If you want a call to action, I did have a call to action that says get a quote. So I just turn on the call to action. And again, imagine we're just visually adding classes to our Bootstrap theme. So I added a call to action. I could select different colors as well. We're going to go with that blue. Mine said get a quote. I'm not going to link it anywhere right now. Publish. And we're going to go back. And again, if you have drop downs, you could customize the drop downs, the sub menu, the mobile menu. And again, you kind of continue working through the options. They're pretty self-explanatory, and you could kind of get a visual of how they would look right away. You could preview it before you even hit publish. Bootstrap colors. So this is pretty cool for this theme because, you know, we had our primary, secondary, and here it gives us the option to globally change these colors. So we could change our primary, our secondary, our light. This usually comes, yours might be a little yellowish. I put it back to what it was. So I want you to go through all these options, and you know, your goal is to make it look like what you currently have, what we did through our CSS and custom code. The links, I am going to fix my links. Let me see what color I have. Going to find my primary color. All right, so I'm just bringing in that same color I was using for my buttons as well. You know what, I'm actually going to make that other, I'm going to go back to Bootstrap colors, and I'm going to make the primary my blue that I'm using for and info. I'm going to make that one as well. The blue that I'm using for my logo. And you guys notice it immediately changes. So again, we're going to go through this and we are going to try to make at least the navigation look similar to what we already have. And lastly, sidebars. If you go to sidebar, you could have a sidebar to the left, sidebar to the right. I'm going to go with no sidebar for now. But we're also going to be able to control that in our individual pages. Once you have your navigation or your header looking like your old website, go ahead and hit publish. And I'm also going to redo my menu really quick. And all you have to do to exit this is just hit close. It's going to take you back to the dashboard. I'm going to go to menus. I had home, services, about us. And if we go to custom links, if you put in a # for the URL, you could add just a custom link. So about us. I also had our skills. I think it was all caps. Modify the menu. So just make it match. You don't have to link directly to the websites or create new pages. So I had another one, set services. Home, services, about us, our skills, testimonials, and contact us. So again, by using the custom links, just recreate your menu so that it looks the same. So I'm just going to hit a #, testimonials, add, #, contact us, add. Again, we're not going to be recreating all our pages. So now if I refresh, I'm going to go visit site. You guys notice I have a very similar looking website. I have a solid button. I think I had an outline button over here, but it's looking very, very similar. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is page builders. If we go over to our pages, I'm going to go ahead and click on the front page, the home page we've had, CMS test. I've deleted some stuff, but yours might look a little different. It's fine. But we've talked about the new builder, the block builder that WordPress is using. And last video I mentioned, you know, they're improving it every time they make updates. They're coming pretty close to having a decent builder, but there's just so many more builders out there that are way better and that are already ready to use, and they're just a lot simpler to use. So we're just actually going to go ahead and install one of them. So we're going to go back to appearance. Actually, let's go to plugins. We're going to go add new in plugins, and we're going to type in Elementor. Elementor. Here we go. And you're going to get this Elementor page builder. And you're going to hit install now. Elementor is one of the top builders out there, page builders. And Visual Composer. I use Visual Composer a lot. I really like it. Once it's installed, go ahead and activate it. And what that's going to do, it's going to replace the WordPress block builder with the Elementor builder. So themes are controlled by themes, and regardless of what theme you have, you always can replace either the WordPress block builder or the original WordPress WYSIWYG with a different builder that's going to be used to build your pages, the actual content of your pages. Now, something I didn't touch on, if we go back to appearance, customize, you'll notice that some of these options back here are pro options. You're going to see that a lot in WordPress, where you're going to have a lot of theme developers give you a pretty good working theme, and then all this extra stuff that you might need, they're going to make you pay for it or upgrade. That's just how they make money. It's pretty common to see that. The same thing with Elementor. They give you the most of the functionality, and then if you go pro, you get all these extra features. But for what we're going to be doing today, it's fine. You do not need to pay for anything, and you do not need to upgrade. So once you have Elementor installed, we're going to go back to our pages, and we'll go back to our front page, CMS page, and we're going to hit edit with Elementor, and it's going to load it, and it's going to give it to us in a different, again, a visual editor. The first thing I'm going to do is it's always going to show the page title. If we go back here to settings, we can hit this option here that says hide title. And again, we could probably spend a whole 3 weeks just on Elementor alone, but I want you guys to just play around with it, get familiar with what a page builder is. Drag and drop builders are very, very popular these days. And what gives you an advantage as a web developer is that we know the CSS, so you could easily customize stuff a little better. If the whatever page builder doesn't offer an option, you could always go in and add it yourself through custom CSS. Almost all of them are going to have a custom CSS option, so it's very easy to go ahead and target a class. So for your home page, what I want you to do is take a look at this section. We all had this section as a requirement, right? Where we had like a 3-column area. And then we had like an icon, a heading, some text, and then a button. So we're going to go ahead and recreate that section in Elementor. So you're going to have this drag widget here. All we're going to do is hit plus. And you notice it lets you select a structure, right? Either full width, 2 columns, 50-50, or 3 columns. So in this case, we're going to hit the 3 columns. So again, it's very visual. So on the first column, if you hit add, almost like the WordPress block builder, you have a lot of these options, like these basics. Okay, do you want a heading, an image? Do you want to insert some text, a video, a button? You have these pro options as well. I'm going to go ahead and minimize those. And then you have these general options, right? So in this case, I'm going to select the icon box because that's already pre-made, but we could also make it ourselves, right? So if I select icon box and just drag it over, oh, there we go. I clicked out of it. There we go. Right, we have that. We could easily make that ourselves also. If you hit on the next column, you're like, hey, I want an icon. Right, and then maybe you want to add a heading and everything else. Let me go back. Right, we could add a heading, and then we could add what's next? Text. We could add some text. Right, so we could kind of recreate it, but this is a very common layout. So I'm just going to right click, delete. Regardless, go ahead and play with all the options. You know, this is kind of free learning activity, but we are going to turn in this 3-column icon heading section. So once I add my icon box, and I've already kind of customized my colors, yours might show up as a different color, but we're going to go through it all. So if you click on this section on the left side, you're going to have an option to select an icon, right? So you could upload your own icon, or you could go to Icon Library and search for a similar icon of what you had. We have Font Awesome icons as well, the solid and the brands. So I'm just going to keep it on all icon. Let me see what I had. So I had some sort of monitor or TV looking thing. Here, it's this one. I'm going to go ahead and insert. And then my heading, I'm going to go ahead and close that page, was web design. So I'm going to go ahead, highlight it, web design. All right, so very easy. I could either click here, or on the left hand side I could type in different things. Now let's say your icon is a different color. Oops. Whenever you're in on a certain element, it's going to show up here, edit icon box. So I know I'm editing the icon. If I click on the next tab for style, I'm going to see I'm able to change all these features on the icon. Spacing, size, I could rotate it. I could make some changes to the content, right? If you go advanced, it gives you more advanced options as well. So again, think of just adding all these CSS classes, but instead of coding them in, you're just clicking on the options. So in style, for the icon primary color, I'm going to go ahead and you could change the color to anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and again get my primary color, which I thought I had it pasted. Copy. So I have changed my icon color. The size is fine, but if you play with all these options, you're going to be able to customize it. The same thing with the title, right? We have the title, and then the text. I'm going to bring over the same text. And then lastly, we had a button, right? So we noticed this icon box doesn't have the button. Again, I could just bring in a button and place it right under. So I'm going to go back to my elements, and we're going to look for a button. There we go, I skipped it. And again, you just drag and drop, and you're going to notice it's going to highlight the area where you're going to drop it in. And again, when you're on the button, it's up here on the left hand side, it says edit button. So you know any changes you make to these settings are going to be applied to the button. So the type, it's already brought in our different types of bootstrap buttons, right? But I'm actually going to go ahead and customize all of it. So the text, instead of click here, you could change the text. Learn more. Again, we don't need to link it anywhere. Large, small sizes. I'm going to go with small. Alignment, so I want it centered. And if we go to the style tab, text color, background color. Gotta go get my primary button again. Actually, let me show you guys this. If you go over to the very home page of these options and go to global style, you could put in default colors. All right, so you have this color palette that's just going to be applied. So you could create a palette. So my primary color is already here. So my accent color, I'm going to make the same, and that's going to change my button. go back, click on my button again. And now all I need to modify is the text color, which is going to be white. I'm going to go ahead and update that. Now, what's great about these visual page builders is that we're able to copy a lot of these elements and just clone them very easily, right? So just by right-clicking on this icon, I could hit duplicate, and you notice it copies everything, same styling. I don't have to go back and redo the colors or change the headings. And the same thing for the button. I could right-click, hit duplicate, and then just drag it over like that. Oh, that's weird. Let me remove this. There we go. So now easily I can just click here, go back to my home page, and I could look for another button, another icon. Palette. Insert. Copy the text. That's fine. Learn more is fine. And then again, just replicate the same thing again. Duplicate that. Drag it over. Duplicate the button. Drag it over. Change the icon. Add the SEO icon. Search. And I think it was this one. Insert. And there we go. So you guys notice how few quick minutes and I've replicated all this stuff already. I'm gonna go ahead and update and preview that. So now if I go to my home page, Fluence CMS, I have this 3-button layout. Now for some reason it kept the green buttons. Let's go ahead and fix that. And let's go to style, background color. There's should have pasted this somewhere. So again, I'm going to click on each button, and for the background color under styling, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Style, background color. Update. And let's go ahead and refresh this. There we go. So now we have the 3-column layout, our header, our navigation bar, and get a quote. Go ahead and continue playing with these options. You could continue adding columns, different layouts, different structures. Again, this barely scratches the surface of all the options that are available with Elementor and the different settings and layouts that you could bring in. So again, you guys are going to be submitting a screenshot that shows that you have recreated this, right? So your logo, the navigation bar, if you had a call to action, go ahead, and most importantly, the 3-column layout with an icon, a heading, a paragraph, and a button. Again, you don't have to recreate each page or each menu item with actual links, but I do recommend you guys play around with it, and we'll continue working with this and doing small projects like this.